Welcome to the Ray Bros Nerd Show. I'm your host, Jonathan, with my brother, Zach.
What's up, guys?
And we're episode 16. 1-6. I don't know.
We're not going to make any jokes about that one.
Yeah, I've run out of things to say. If anything, like, I was thinking to myself, like, at what point do I stop counting? But I'm like, I can't. Now it's, like, committed. It's committed.
See, I think that's what the point of the song intro is for. That way the audience is already warmed up. They're like...
Oh, yeah, we're ready. Well, we haven't got that far. So, first topic that we want to cover is a game Zach's been playing. I bought his copy of it, which is funny. He gave me a nice discount, and then he got the deluxe version. But NIOH for the PS4. It's Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Samurai style, but I think is there's more to it, you know, in this game than the others. Would you agree to some of that?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely... Because that's the thing, like... At some point, we need to, like, come up with a name for the genre that is Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Lords of the Fallen.
I think it's still RPG, but it's like...
I almost feel like you could call it a character action RPG. Because you call like a character action game like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, stuff like that.
But because you can still do a lot of the actions in Neo like that, but if you have enough stamina.
Yeah, because you got to figure the way those are structured. It's the same thing. It's like you have, or like Ninja Gaiden. This game was made by the guys who did Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah,
on
Team
360.
Ninja. Yeah.
So, like. That's why I think character action RPG sounds like really cool.
Yeah. And
really, because it's literally you go through a level, you fight a boss at the end of the level, move on to the next level. Mm-hmm. But then you also have the whole RPG aspect.
Yeah, I like how this one broke it down because isn't Dark Souls... Well, I know Bloodborne for sure because I played it.
It's open world.
It's like one continuous thing. Mm-hmm. Like this one has more of a story-based and it's mission-based, which I actually prefer because... Like, when you get somewhere, or if you finish the mission, you can save at the main menu, and don't have to worry about going, places you've already been.
Yeah.
Like, each place is its own confined space.
Yeah, and you definitely like that for a certain reason.
Yeah.
We won't get into that yet, but yeah, Neo, and if you listen to our previous podcast, this game was on my... upcoming list that I was looking forward to. Like, as soon as somebody told me, like, it's Dark Souls, but Samurai, I was already in.
Oh, okay.
But then I had also played an alpha at that point, and I was like, it feels right, it's cool, it seems different enough, and yeah. There's a ton different about this game. Yeah. Like, so in Dark Souls, weapons, like... I don't even know how to get into all of it, but,
we'll try to keep it, because there's so much involved with this game.
Didn't I talk about it last week for like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And explain that it's Diablo, Borderlands.
Yeah, it has Diablo mixed into it, Borderlands, because there's a prestige thing to it. So the funny thing is my brother started playing it, and what level are you now, like 48? 46? And then I started playing it like a week after, and I'm already at 42. Yeah. And I'll tell you my strategy in a minute. But he convinced me to play it because I wasn't really going to play it because, like, mentally I wasn't, like, ready for another Bloodborne game, to be honest with you. Like,
a character action RPG?
Yeah, that's an RPG. Like, it's funny because, like, now that I think about it, a couple podcasts before, like, we couldn't figure out what my favorite genre is, and I think it is RPG. Because I like turn-based RPG, and I like this action-based. Like, I've been playing Yakuza a lot more. And then I've been playing... Well, anyways.
But also, have you played The Witcher?
No.
Have you played Skyrim?
Yes.
You played through that?
Mm-hmm.
When?
A long time ago, when it was on the PS3.
Oh.
Before the HD remix.
Because I felt like I was, like, playing through all these different RPGs, and then I'd ask you, and you're like... No.
Yeah. No, I played Skyrim basically because I thought you could ride the dragon. Turns out you can't ride the dragon. Really thought you could.
There's an expansion you get to, but you don't actually control it. It's more like part of the fast travel.
So you're on the thing, but it's like...
And it shows you riding the dragon, but it's probably just stilted and...
Yeah, I enjoyed Skyrim. But anyways, back to Neo. But my brother kind of talked me into it, so I've been playing the shit out of it. I am addicted to the point where like it's almost becoming my favorite game that I've played in a long time because it encompasses everything that I enjoy and it allows me to do something that I'm like slightly addicted to, which is play the same level over and over.
And we had a whole podcast like topic about this before that like you like repetition in games.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if like is the right word. You can tolerate it. Me, I can't stand it. So like I only had to grind once in that game, and that was just for 2 levels, and so I could get some gear to sell to then what do they call it? Soul match another piece of gear. And even that I was like, But then like it's so strange because he's like before he's even gotten to the next shrine, he's grinding at a previous shrine.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Because he asked me, because I've had the game at least a week after him, but I'm already like catching up technically like level-wise.
Not mission-wise, but level-wise.
Level-wise. Not mission-wise, level-wise. He's like, wait a minute, how are you level 42 and you've only done 3 missions? And I told him, I was like, well, this is what I've been doing. What I'll do is I'll start at a shrine, I'll go through each character, like each enemy, kill all the enemies, which include the references, which you summon to get like extra loot and shit.
Which is like dead players who have like in Bloodborne you would see like their blood spots and it would show them like how they died.
Yeah.
But in this one you see where they died. It says what enemy killed them or what killed them. And then you summon them and you can fight them.
Yeah.
Which it's like an AI controlled version of like a dead player, which is awesome.
So what I would do with all that is I would go clear out a whole mission, which is insane to think about, while summoning those guys, and then sell that gear to get more of the Dark Souls, or it's called the Emerita or whatever in this game. And my brother's like, oh my god.
See, and that's what I should have asked. I should have asked what like levels your weapon damage are at and stuff.
I can't remember. I think one is like 122 or something weird like that. Like, because I have these 2 swords. Like,
it makes a lot more sense now.
I have a sword now that has like electricity attached to it. So like when I hit, it does elemental damage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've leveled the fuck out of that one by soul matching. I've soul matched it like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god, I love that system.
It's like 225 or something like that for the damage. And then I re-rolled a couple of the stats, so that I'm still using that sword.
Yeah, there's a thing on that game that's called soul matching, and what it is like, let's say there's a sword that you like in particular, right? But you find one that's like 5 levels higher than what it is. Okay, just for example, you can soul match it, and it'll give you bonus points based off of that stronger weapon, so you can keep the one that you have if you want to do that. Now, there's positives and negatives. Like, it takes some of the elemental things away.
It shouldn't unless you're soul matching with something lower.
Oh, okay. So
because the only number you want to pay attention to when you're soul matching is the level of the weapons.
Okay.
So if you have a level 15 sword and you have a level 18 spear, and you want to keep using that sword, but you're not going to use that spear, you take that level 18 spear and feed it
into your sword,
into your level 15 sword, which will boost it up to a level 18.
Okay.
But if you're taking a level 15 sword and putting a level 12 weapon into it,
it's not going to do anything.
You're going to fuck up all the stats. You're going to lower, and also like the stats that you're seeing where it's probably lowering is because it resets the familiarity on your weapon.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably what I was thinking of.
The weapons have a level, but then also there's a familiarity level where the more you use it, the more accustomed your guy gets to it, and that boosts all your stats. And that's just, it's kind of like in Call of Duty in the zombies mode or in the multiplayer where you level up the weapon you're using.
Yeah. So I told my brother, there's a part where you rent a boat and it gets to the part where he's at. I'm like, I'm not gonna go there till I'm like level 50. He's like, oh my god. He's like, but it makes sense for me because I just like, what I'll do is I'll throw on like a podcast, like the Ray Bros No Show, and like listen to it Yeah.
Shameless.
Shameless plugging, baby. And like just play like even he was telling me he's like, man, if Emily was watching that, she'd get bored as hell. And I was like, yeah. Monica was watching it. She went and took a nap. She's like, wake me up at 5. Well, she hasn't been feeling well, anyways, but still.
Because I feel like the more like, and I told John his method isn't wrong, but for me, it would almost ruin the game for me if I went into an area over leveled, because then the excitement of like running into like a tough enemy or finding like the better loot to then take care of those enemies, like that's the gameplay loop I like.
Yeah.
But if I was to go in and just be like way over leveled, so I'm just like running through everything, I'm like, well, I mean, I could just play a normal easy game and.
But I love it because I get all their loot and then I sell it, or I use it to like get more emerita. Yeah. So it's like, no, it's fine.
Okay.
But like what I do is like, so I'll get all their gear, sell it, and then there's still times where I still find those tough bosses. Some of the ones I like, the reference that I resurrect, it like teaches me how to play the game better, because I'll like fuck up instead of blocking, because I'll think I'm so badass, let me like just destroy this guy real quick. Next thing I know, I'm like on the brink of death. Like it actually happened to me before I came over today, is I was fighting 2 guys and I was way more leveled than they were. Like one guy was like a level 6 and it was a monster. So I went in there thinking, oh fuck it, I'm gonna kill the shit out of you guys. No, what happened is like ran out of stamina, and then like the one monster just did 2 hammer things, and another guy like threw a grenade at me like right when I was going to heal, and I died. And I was like, oh, that's a lesson learned.
Because that's the thing too. That's the cool part about those games is like your level and your stats are only as good as then the gear you're using with them. Like the gear becomes like way more important at a point. Like now I'm not even too worried about leveling certain things. Like I like the boost I get and stuff, but I'm at a point now where like whenever I level, I'm like looking at a piece of gear I have and what'll get boosted from that, or if I have this helmet I want to wear but I don't have the right equip load, ratio. Then it's like, okay, I'll boost my strength or my stamina. That'll boost that up, so then I can now wear that awesome piece of gear.
Yeah. I like, too, how the co-op is played. Like, you can't do, like, level for level. But what they did is, my brother was explaining to me, is you have to go back to a level to help somebody, you have to have beaten it. Which I think is actually pretty neat. Like, so, like, you're not going in... I don't know, like, how to explain it. But, like, when him and I played... I set the password so he can come in or whatever, and then like, because I needed help with the boss, he's like, all right, I'll help you with the boss. He's like, I don't think it'll make it harder, and it doesn't. So it doesn't make it more difficult for you.
Yeah, so I was able to like hop in with John, and because you can see like enemy's health and like your health and like your ally's health. So I'd like see his health getting low. I'm like, you need to back up and heal, because if you don't, I get kicked out.
And then you're starting all over again. And I was getting frustrated, to be honest with you. I almost rage quit because I was stuck at that section. I couldn't do it. It was mainly my patience, but like, which is funny because I'm patient now that I beat that part to like grind to beat bosses.
And that's something I just had a realization. You like playing the same thing over and over again, so then when you do go up against the boss, you can kick it in the teeth, and you like RPGs, and I just realized what your actual favorite genre probably is, but you never really play it.
What's that?
MMOs.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what those games are. You do fetch quests, you grind to get gear, you kill the same enemies over and over again, then you go on a big raid, kill like a super strong boss. Like, did you ever play Destiny?
Destiny? I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, that game is literally made for you. So is The Division.
The Division? No, I didn't play that one either.
Like, those games are literally what you're talking about, where you go in the same areas, you kill, level way the fuck up, get better gear, get better drops, and then you go into, like, another mission, and you can just waltz through it. Like, those games are your favorite games.
I just never
but you don't play them.
I just play...
You play it in a different genre where you're supposed to, like, all right, now I'm stuck. I'm going to grind. You're like, I'm going to grind before I'm even stuck.
Yeah, there's no stuck for this guy, which is sad because I still get stuck because I don't play as patient as I should. See, and I think that's why, like, I have to level up is because, like...
That's what I'm saying. I think what you're doing is making you a worse player. You said it's making you better.
I'm making it forms to me better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like what that does is then...
I did the same shit in Bloodborne. In Bloodborne, like, I was, like, level 70 before I do it even.
Because then what you're doing is, like, the bosses are always way harder than the normal enemies.
Yeah.
So you get used to just stomping the normal enemies.
Stop the shit out.
And then you're like, what up, boss? And then they just hit you twice and you're like
dead.
Well, now I gotta get up to level 50 before I change regions. And it's like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's like, so then what happened, and I told my brother I almost don't like it, but it's the way the game is supposed to be played. And we'll move on to something else. But, like, so for example, the regular game, it's like, you fight a bunch of enemies and they're all like the same level as you, and then the boss, it is difficult, but you learn their perks and shit. Me, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'll level up so much so I can still do its perks, but still like kill the shit out of it. And I got to a point where the game kind of was like, all right, you can stop doing that now. Yeah. So that's why I told my brother, I was like, there's like a section where I'm moving on to a different world or whatever, not a world, but you know, a different map part. And I'm like, I want to at least wait till I'm level 50. My brother's like, I'm not even level 50.
And I'm like 3 or 4 missions into that next region. And he's like, I'm going to be level 50. I'm like, why? Like, to me...
In 2 weeks, I'll be like level 100 and I'll be level 100 and not have beaten the game. You'll be like level 62 and beat the game twice. I'll be like... I'm having a hard time.
That's the other thing too, is like I get tops like 45 minutes to play a day usually. Mm-hmm. So like you like turn around and you're like, I'm level 42. I'm like,
well, because like there's this cave.
You've knocked fucking Monica out and put her into sleep mode.
I put Monica in a coma. I played this one level so much. Monica took a nap for 2 hours, and I woke up and I was still at the same level. And what it is like it's before the third boss technically, where it's a female boss. And inside this cavern, there's like 4 or 5 different giants that you fight. Mm-hmm. And what I would do, it is so ghetto or so cheap, is like I found this rock to hide behind, and I would hit him a couple times, walk around the rock. Hit him a couple times, walk around the rock, and just did it over and
like,
over.
How do you, like, because that's the other thing. That's the thing about those games, is when I figure out, like, their patterns, and, like, I'm mono-y-mono, and I fucking beat, like...
I use my environment. Fuck that.
That was the thing. Something happened to me that John would have absolutely loved.
Yeah.
There's a boss coming up, and I already spoiled it for you, but there's a boss coming up that's a giant centipede.
Yeah.
So it's like a big monster with a bunch of little parts to it. Now, what if this happened to John, it would have played out the exact opposite way.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting this boss, and it's basically the whole, like, cave you're in, like, fills up with poison gas, and you have to go to this, like, fan and, like, crank it up to clear the gas out of the chamber, and then that way you can fight them on the ground easier, because you have this little pedestal you can fight them on, but it's really hard. So I'm fighting this guy, and I've got him to about half health. Okay. The guy, the monster, like, it... When you run up top to get to the thing, it like follows you, and it always takes the same path. Well, it got stuck. And I walked up to this thing, and I hit it like 3 times, and it couldn't damage me, but it couldn't move. And I looked at it, and I paused it, hit return to main menu.
What?
That way,
you
like,
madman.
I could reload, because then it doesn't, like...
I would have been like, you're dead, motherfucker!
And I told you,
dead.
Yeah, I told you before, like, if the game glitches out, like, you're more than, like, that's part of the game structure. Like, yeah. Sure, it wasn't supposed to happen,
that was
but
an extreme glitch, though, to be fair.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people, you know, did that, like, the first Borderlands, which is a similar type thing. The last boss, you could beat it by standing behind this boulder and just pop, 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 pop.
Nice. Oh god, go ahead. Sorry.
But basically, I was like, I came up to this, and I could have just. He doesn't have a third form. He has like 2 forms. He basically has the way he starts out and the way he ends up. There's no third form, so I literally could have just killed him, completed the mission, walked away.
Yeah.
But I stopped and I was like, I'm not gonna feel accomplished if I just do this. Like, because my favorite part of these types of games, outside of, I love the gameplay and all that, but I love when you're in a really tough fight and you beat it and your heart's like fucking pounding out of your chest, and you're like, fuck yeah, and like you just feel, and then you get that cutscene, you put the controller down, you're like, whoo, and then you go through your loot and you're like, all right, on to the next motherfucker.
Yeah. Me, I would have just sliced the thing, no glory, no rapture, just right through its throat.
Because you talked about it with one of the Bloodborne bosses. Like, the boss got stuck, or you found, like, an area where he couldn't hit you, but you could hit him.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's how I took him out. And I'm just like,
it's kind of shitty.
It's in the game. It's
kind of
fair.
shitty. That's like, I have to post this. I recorded it on my PlayStation, and I think I had Monica rolling. It was so funny. Alright, there's this, like, wall creature that you can get to attack. Well, there's 2 of them. Well, there's more than 2, but there's a second one where he comes on the wall and you can walk up this thing behind him. And what it's built for is for you to do like a jump attack type thing. What I did, because it's hilarious, is I gathered a bunch of rocks. And what I did is I walked up that thing and just chucked rocks at him until I killed him.
Wait,
so the
stones?
Yes.
That are meant for distracting enemies?
Yes, I killed him with them. Well, I didn't fully kill him. I did jump off when he was like really low in health, and he's like, please kill me. And I just sliced him with my sword. I had like 30 of these fucking rocks, and I even found where like the cliff was where I wouldn't fall, and I just chucked rocks at this thing, and all it could do is look at me and pray that I would just come down.
These rocks he's talking about, you get like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Because their purpose is, if there's 2 enemies standing by each other, it's easier in this game to fight one-on-one. So you take a stone, you throw it at the enemy, he peels off and comes after you, kill him, then you run up and fight the one guy. You killed a rock monster with a bunch of rocks.
You love it.
You're
you
not
know
allowed,
you love it.
You're not allowed to play these games.
You love it. I know you love it. Wait
like,
till you see it.
You're gonna
be like, what the fuck? That took you so long. Well, it probably could have took me like 10 minutes if I used grenades and shit. I was like, nah, I'm gonna kill you with rocks, bro.
It only takes. That guy's not that strong, anyways. Like, his weakness is when he throws a rock, you get time. He throws a rock, you dodge it, you pull out your gun or your arrow, you shoot him. Basically, you shoot him once, run up, hit the shit out of him. He kind of gets back up. He throws another rock. You do the same thing again, and he's done. Yeah. So you spent 20 minutes
chucking rocks
on something that would have taken.
Wait till you see the video. Oh my god, it's gonna be great.
Anyway. If this podcast ever like breaks big and it becomes a huge thing, and somebody's like, I'm gonna listen to the old school Ray Bros Nerd Show, they're gonna get to episode 16. They're gonna hear that and go, I'm done.
Well, see, hey, everybody plays games differently, damn it. It's awesome. Wait till you see it. Alright, so moving on topics-wise, it's great. It's probably... And I was laughing the whole way when I was recording it. I should have used my stupid thing that Monica got me.
But Neo's awesome.
Neo's great.
If anybody,
you need to buy it.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, go buy it.
And if you're playing it like the normal way...
Or the casual gamer way.
No, if you're playing the normal way, it is quite a bit harder than like Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
It's a tough
At least
game,
to me. Like, Dark Souls, you get into this like easy rhythm with it. Bloodborne, the aggression that you're supposed to use in Bloodborne makes it a bit easy.
Yeah.
And those games are a lot less complicated in terms of weapons, stance, and stuff like that. So it's harder, but it's more rewarding, and there's actually a lot more depth and a lot more like replay value to it.
If I had one nitpick, and this is just a nitpick, none of the other games really have it.
It's hard if you
I just
don't
wish
grind.
I love grinding. I just love it. He just spit up his water. I just wish you could jump. Like, because there'd be like a thing, and you're like, I could just jump up there. But then you have to like walk up and around. To be fair, nothing else has it, but I just wish you could jump.
Well, I like that because of the exploration. And that's why this level I'm on now.
Yeah, I guess if you could jump, you could just like skip a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, if this level I'm on now, if you could jump, it would break the whole level. Like, I don't want to tell you what it is. I just want to see if you get to it and go, this level fucking sucks. Like, the level is called The Ocean Rises Again or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And I
didn't like the cavern one anyways. But the next topic, I could talk about the game for another half hour. This is like way like regular topic. Like I was thinking, like we talk about so many games
because so many are coming out.
Yeah, we don't bring anything else up. So I wanted to break the mold a little bit and then get back to games. Well, it's still a gaming topic per se, but what? And I know your answer already, but I just want to hear it anyways. Is like I was thinking, what game or what movies would you like to see as games? Because to be fair, pretty much every game that's from a movie is horrible. Like 9 times out of 10. Like there's very few I can think of that were good.
That's why they stopped making them.
Like the Lord of the Rings ones weren't bad. I don't know if I can go back and play them and they still be good.
They're bad. But the controls are terrible.
But remember at the time, like those were exciting. Those were fun.
Yeah.
Batman on NES. That's like the most infamous one. Even though it doesn't follow the movie per se, it's still a movie licensed game.
And it's just as bad.
Yeah. Terrible game. Now, but back then it was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, just look it up.
No, I'll look at. I've watched videos on it, and they've all said that even back then it's terrible.
It's not horrible.
Like it's cool because you get to be Batman, but it doesn't make any sense.
That's all you need.
And like it's stiff. He like walks
That's what
like
she
this.
said. That's what she said.
No, she didn't. Anyways,
so
topic.
Is there any that you could think of like?
Well, are you sure you? Why don't you go first so I don't just like, or I guess I would be pissing on your parade. Basically, I don't think...
You can be on my parade, it's fine.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the thing, like, for me, I feel like anytime you're going from movie or television to game, or game to movie and television, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, even if somebody was, like, really good at it, it's like, the differences between the two mediums becomes even more amplified when you do that.
Yeah, because movies are usually like 2 hours long, but...
Well, it's that, and also movies are passive. You sit down, you watch it, you experience it. Now, a video game is active.
Well, some of them have, where it's passive too. Like, I feel like some of the Telltales are kind of like that, where like they're still doing something.
And notice I can't stand those games.
Yeah.
I can't play those games because I'd rather just watch somebody else do it because all you're doing is
that way. Yeah.
Like, okay, it's choose your own adventure, whatever. Like, just I wish there was a mode in those games. Oh man, why didn't they ever think of this?
What?
I wish there was like a mode in that game where you could have 3 different choices. And it would be like good guy, bad guy, neutral. And it would auto make the choices for you, auto do the combat and stuff. So you could sit back, pay $5 per, just sit back and watch these games get played for you.
Yeah.
So you're just watching a longer movie. But it does it by itself automatically, walks to where it needs to walk, does the combat, solves the puzzles.
Yeah.
So then you don't have to, if you don't like playing them. Like the Batman one... I tried playing it like multiple times, but those games are fucking garbage.
Yeah. Well, you told me that one was like glitched out.
Yeah,
like I've been wanting to go play it, but like you told me it was glitched out, and I saw another video that it was kind of glitched out, so I was just like, okay, I don't know.
And it's stupid because these games are not powerhouse looking games. The choices you make are far less complicated than, even in Call of Duty, whether you're going to stand over there and shoot or stand over here and shoot. Mm-hmm. There's so little complication to them, but people keep buying them, so they keep making them, and they don't change the
format or anything.
Like, the format's fine. It's the engine they're using. Yeah. It's the same engine they've been using since, like, almost the beginning of the 360.
Well, you can't really blame them, because if people buy into it, it's like, what's the point of... Don't fix what's not broken.
It is broken, what I'm saying is,
to the majority of people, that get into those games.
Oh, it's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Fuck off. So for me, I don't think it's necessary. I think you're better off if you're going to take something and turn it into a game. You take books. There's a lot of books I could think of where I'm like, this world, these characters, this particular story, or you could go past the story, you could go before the story, you can go just set in the world. Mm-hmm. That I think you have a better shot at than making a good game based on a movie. Like I feel like The Expanse, which is now, I want it based on the books, not the TV and the movies or whatever, but this book series, The Expanse, it's like 6, almost 7 books, 8 books almost, I think. That would be awesome. The Witcher is one of the best examples of a book turned into a game. So for me, I feel like movies and video games, they're two very different experiences, and they should stay that way. Yeah,
it's funny because I actually had a list of like 5 written down, but I kind of got rid of the list and only thought of like 2 offhand. Because like as I thought of, because like a lot of times before we do the podcast, like I tell you what I want to talk about, or I think about it and then I tell you, and then I go to do my research. So for example, I was like, all right, let's say I wanted to say Fifth Element was one. I'm like, wait, they did technically make that a game where you're Bruce Willis and it was awful. I was like, okay, let me think of, I don't know, Waterworld. I'm like, oh shit, that was a game too. You know what I mean?
That's also a shit movie.
Yeah, also a bad movie. Which is weird because if you ever go to Universal, the Universal side of Waterworld is fucking great.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's all, like, I went to Universal a long time ago and when I was on military leave. Like, I just got out of the state of Montana. And I went to Universal and I went during our Halloween Horror Nights thing, which is still open during the day. But in the Waterworld thing there, I'm like, where was this in the whole fucking movie? You know what I mean? So one of the main ones I thought of that I thought would be a cool game, and I don't know if it is, it probably is, this is the one that I didn't check, was Elysium. Like, because I love that game, or that movie so much, I would love to, like, play it.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the same. There's no South African guy coming after you with a cool-ass accent.
So that's what I was saying. So you want that exact movie in video game form.
Yeah, well,
how
close
would that
to
work? How would you fill out outside of the like 6 action scenes that are in the movie?
Yeah,
that's my whole thing. Like, I suppose if you wanted something that was in the world and it was like a similar story where like you're a ragtag group of like poor people trying to get up to Elysium to take it out, like
take it out and like heal yourself or whatever. Like you get infected with the radiation and shit, so you're like doing it for yourself, but doing it for a bigger cause or whatever. I always like that. I just think Elysium could translate as a game, like the way that the characters were put in that movie and stuff like that. Because like that's the one like I was thinking of that was my top pick. It was just
well, I want to hear the whole 5 if you can remember them.
Well, some of the other ones already were movies.
Oh,
technically, like I thought Backdraft would be a cool one. Like, you're the detective trying to figure out, like... It would play a lot like Heavy Rain, where you're trying to figure out... Well, I'm not, like, saying, like, gameplay-wise, but I'm saying story-wise. It'd be like Heavy Rain, where you're trying to solve a crime or solve, you know, whatever's happening.
Which would like be a Telltale game.
With the, with the fire... Well, it doesn't have to play like a Telltale game. I'm saying it would play, like, I don't know, what would be another example, like a Sherlock Holmes game, but not as shitty.
Which is, those games weren't bad, but those are, once again, they're just...
Or even like Carmen Sandiego, like it could be like a Carmen Sandiego. Anyway, let me have my dream.
But that's what I'm like pointing out, is that like these games would be, you don't do much besides talk to characters and pick up items, like which are Telltale games. Which are the Sherlock games.
I think it could play like Batman would be sweet. Like a Backdraft, like with Batman gameplay.
I want a t-shirt that says that. Backdraft Batman?
Oh my god. Speaking of t-shirts, hamsters aren't for...
Hamsters aren't for fucking.
If you enjoy games with groups of people and alcohol, or without alcohol because we didn't drink the last time.
Well, me and you didn't drink, but the 2 ladies did.
There were wine. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a good time. Play Jackbox Party Pack 3. there's a t-shirt game in there where you create a t-shirt and then everyone judges them and you put like little sayings and logos on it. Oh my god. Some of the stuff, like, I realized sitting next to my brother, him and I have some really dark sense of humor. And like, I felt there was a point where like we offended people in the room.
See that reminds me. I'm going to tell you now so I don't forget, and in case you listen to this later, you'll hear it again. Watch the comedy special on Netflix of Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay.
He is one of the funniest comedians ever because his jokes are super inappropriate, dark,
yeah,
like razor sharp, like deadpan delivery. Awesome. And
yeah.
like he does a whole segment about, like, the special is called Thoughts and Prayers. He does a whole segment about, like, whenever there's a tragedy, first thing people do is they go on their computers, they go on Facebook or Twitter and go, my thoughts and prayers are with the, insert victims
here,
of the tragedies and whatever. And he's like, and that, you know what that does? That does fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And then he talks about, like, whenever there's a tragedy, he immediately, like, puts a joke on, like, Twitter or whatever. Situation. And so, like, the Aurora, Colorado shooting, the Dark Knight movie where the guy opened fire in the theater.
Yeah.
That night, not even the next day, that night, he typed in, besides that, how was the movie?
Oh, my God. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's like one of my favorite like South Park jokes, to bring up South Park again. But they said like there's a 2-year window for comedies sometimes. So it's like they were making fun of AIDS as an example. And they're like, what? It's been 2 years. Yeah. So you can make fun of it. It's fine. I like shit like that sometimes.
But this guy,
but the only thing is like you have to have a certain audience. Because there's one time I think I said a joke, even Monica was like, oh my god.
and that's why when I watch this guy, because then, like, the Boston, the bombing in Boston, his tweet that day was, there's some lines that just shouldn't be crossed, like the finish line.
Oh, God.
And basically, he was like, I post those things and people will be saying, when you do that, it seems like you're making fun of the victims. And he's like, you want to know why that doesn't make any sense? Because you know what victims are doing on the day of a tragedy? Victim type shit. They're not on Twitter. They're not on Facebook. Like, I wonder what the world thinks about this.
Yeah. Who's making a joke on my behalf?
And that's like, and this guy's like, you bring light to the dark.
Yeah.
You need to watch that special. It's
that's
so
like,
good.
we were just talking outside. There was a car coming at me. And I told my brother... My brother's like, watch out, you're going to get hit. And I told him, like, I'm like, I'd be actually okay with it as long as it made a good, like, comedian thump. And, like, I wasn't dead and, like, maybe, like, a small fracture, you know what I mean? Or something. Where it'd just be like, thump. I'm like, oh.
See, even the beginning of what you were just telling, like, that's fucked up. Like, a throwaway joke as I'm getting out of the car to bring home pizza is... Hey, watch out, you're going to get hit.
And I just, like, jump out of the car. I didn't even care. Anyways.
So do you have any other, like, I'm sitting here trying to think of movies that I could see making sense as games.
Yeah.
But, like, most of it...
Elysium was my top one. Technically, they already made one. But, like, another, like, a Godzilla game. But that game was shit. But I just thought it'd be cool if you're, like... It played, like, Resistance, right? So, like, Cloverfield would be almost the same line. So, it played like Resistance where some monster shit's happening. Like, there's all these, like, different creatures or whatever. And you're trying to escape the city, but at the same time, you're trying to figure out a plot or a way to, like, take out the monster or whatever. And it turns out it's fucking Godzilla. And you're just like, I don't know. I just thought...
I'm trying to think, in the new Godzilla, were there any other monsters besides Godzilla?
Yeah.
And the monster he fights, I mean. Were there, like, small things?
Yeah, there's, like, small little baby ones, too, or whatever. It wasn't as prevalent as...
I thought that was in Cloverfield.
Maybe I'm getting the two mixed up.
Cloverfield, when they're down in the subway tunnels, there's the little monsters.
Well, either way, because the monsters were so big, they were causing, like...
There's a game like that, though. It's King Kong.
King Kong?
Uh-huh. You ever played King Kong? It was a launch game for the 360.
I just think Godzilla would be so much cooler. Or like a Cloverfield game would be sweet, where you're just like basically just trying to survive, and you get all these different creatures coming at you. It basically Resistance, But like,
and that's see, I feel
a lot
like
of these
that's
games.
my point
That's
too.
what like that was like. What I was saying real quick is every movie I thought of, I was like, technically there's a game like that. It's just not set in the same premise. Like I think Godzilla would be the best because like he's trying to fight the other monster, and you're trying to get out or whatever, save your family and shit like that.
But then that's just like an endless runner, and you can play it on the phone,
Which I would love.
And like it's facing behind you, and you see the monsters like running at you, and you just have to tap.
You'd be like, get out of here!
Oh my god!
And it'd be like $5.99 to get the level 2.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Microtrans.
Microtrans it up.
That's what you call a midget Caitlyn Jenner. Oh,
okay, so we're down to 20 minutes, and I want to get to this topic because God bless. Microtransactions.
Okay.
Anyways, so that would be my 2 that I would want, even though technically they do exist. But
I'm gonna try to think of one while we talk about others.
Yeah, Elysium I think would be so much fun to play because the movie is amazing. I just think it'd be cool to play it too because you're not always a mech. You start off as a regular person.
But then what would you do as a regular person? Walk around and talk to people? Then it's a Telltale game.
It's not. My brother likes to poop on my parade.
I warned him about this topic.
He pooped on the parade. Anyways, so this is my final statement because, and there's a good reason for it, but this is my final talk until I actually play the game, which I don't even know how long that will be, but I am done caring about Friday the 13th, which I'm wearing a Friday the 13th shirt for this very occasion because I support the movie. Damn it, and the character. But here's why. Think of how many games are coming out in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Think about it.
Really good games.
We already have Yakuza. We already have Neo. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy is coming out, which some people are looking forward to. You got Horizon Zero Dawn coming out. Halo Wars 2, which I heard was horrible. Or not horrible, like mediocre. But some people are really into those games.
Strategy games,
Yeah, strategy games. God, what else? You got Breath of the Wild coming out, Zelda game.
Word.
You have an entire system coming out, which I'm not looking forward to. Neither is my brother, but there's a lot of people looking forward to that. So why the shit, even though I already spent money on the fucking thing, why the shit do I even care about Friday the 13th? There is no reason now. I have no reason to care about it.
See, I can raise my hand, and that's the whole point of Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Because Kickstarters are literally taking advantage of people who want something, of people who post in message boards, of an idea that isn't actually good enough to get funded by an actual developer studio or publisher.
I should have done more research, to be fair. And I think what had happened was I had rose-colored lenses from my first experience. Because you got to think, when I invested in Exploding Kittens, my overall like feeling after my brother's freaking me out right now. My overall feeling was amazing. Like I paid for what was equal to the store, but I got an extra pack to it. You know, I was treated with everything, understanding everything that was going to happen. I got the game early in a specialty package, which they still haven't released yet for anywhere else, and all that stuff. And it was great. And so when Friday the 13th was coming out, you know, they had this huge package. They pulled a guy from G4 TV, which I shouldn't have listened to. But he was a personality that I could relate to.
Who did it?
That one guy. Isn't he from G4? The one with the buck... I can't remember his name.
Adam Sessler?
Yeah. Isn't he from G4 TV?
Yeah, like the...
Yeah. Yeah, isn't he from G4 TV?
Yeah, he was on X-Play.
Yeah. Anyways, so I thought... This was my thinking back then. I thought it'd be fine. Because my first experience...
Well, your first experience wasn't a video game.
No, it was a card game,
which is a lot easier to make than
it is,
to make a video
but
game.
You know, you gotta think in my mind like what the situation was. You know what I mean? And so, as you've heard in past podcasts, like, you know, the original release date was supposed to be last October or on the Kickstarter, and then we find out it says now it's at the point where they just say early 2017. But now I'm at the point because I got Zelda coming out. I'm playing the shit out of Neo. I still got to beat Yakuza. And I still got to go back and play all the Xbox games that Monica got me. It's like, when that comes out, I don't even know, like, where I'm going to fit it in.
And it's a multiplayer only game, like, which you...
For now.
Which you barely play like multiplayer online games.
No, the only time I really play online multiplayer now is if it's with you, or like zombies, which I really don't play that anymore. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, so what I was saying basically is I'm excited for 2017. All the games coming out. Obviously, I won't get every single one because that's a monetary thing. That'd just be ridiculous.
A lot of money.
Yeah, but it's like. What I'm saying is basically the worth of this game in my mind is nothing, which is sad because of how much money I put forward to it. And it's sad for me as a general because like even now you can't see it, but I'm wearing my Jason running team. Yeah, and I have the mask from the movie set and all these different things, and it's like I don't know. So what's going to happen is they're going to be like, all right, release date. I don't know what's early 2017. Let's say June, just a given month. You know, June. I'll be like, well, Crash Bandicoot's coming out, and I know that's not your genre, but for me, I can't wait to play it. It's gonna be so much fun to me, you know, because it's something me and Monica can play, you know, and stuff like that. And I'll have that because what's gonna happen is people are gonna figure out how to break the online game once it comes out. And you know, the worst thing is I was thinking too, it's still gonna come out buggy. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Like, that's why when you showed me that post and they're talking about we want to be as upfront and, you know, honest with you guys and then lie about a bunch of shit and make a bunch of excuses. I'm like, and then I watched the developer diary.
Oh, yeah?
Do you see who the lead guy who at this studio is? He looks like a grade A fucking douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like, no offense to like tattoo artists, but he looks like he should be working at like a shitty tattoo shop that like
also
where you
sit
sells
on the toilet paper or toilet. Or
yeah, that also sells grilled cheese. I'm not talking about actual professional tattoo artists. I'm talking about a dude you ask for like, you know, a badass skull and he draws like a heart with mom written across it. This guy looks like a fucking
Grade
joke,
A.
and he's like, we want to make this game real nuts. Like, it's the most gory, like, over the top, bloody game ever made. And I watched the beta, and I was like, this game looks tame, it looks stupid, it looks boring, and why the fuck does he have goddamn superpowers?
Yeah, well, because in the gory thing, I laugh because I'm like, even on Neo or Bloodborne, you can cut a dude's head off, like literally,
clean off.
And like, because I just did it today, like I finally got. It was called the hand cannon on Neo. Well, I didn't finally get it. I had it for a while, but I never fired it yet.
Yeah.
And I went to shoot it, and it was like blew a dude up. Like, and it was just like, oh my god.
Like, because I watched it, and then hearing this guy talk about it, and he's like, and then on top of that, they were like, we're gonna do these developer diaries, you know, updates once a week. They did like
it's been quiet for so long.
Yeah,
it's been quiet,
and they only did like 2 or 3. So even they couldn't even hold up their end of the bargain making videos.
And I usually don't do this because I try to stay neutral on a lot of our podcasts, but I'm going to offend people. But whoever is out there still defending this game, let it go. It's over. We are allowed as consumers because I saw some people like, why are you complaining? They want to make sure it's a perfect game. I'm like, dude. It's not going to come out perfect. It's not. It's going to be buggy as fuck. You're going to make it. You're going to make it feel like it's going to feel like you're still playing the beta when it comes out, guaranteed.
And there's also a game exactly like it.
Yeah, that you're telling me about.
Yeah, like almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
That you could play right now. That runs smooth.
That runs fine. Well, what I'm saying basically is like, as a consumer, we're allowed to complain when they can't even give us a release date or. We're going to be informative with you, and I just checked their website. This is why I even brought up the conversation. I checked their website to see if there's some sort of like information on it, since they stopped giving the Kickstarters information like they were supposed to, and there's nothing. It's been dead, other than going to like PAX events and shit like that. So I'm like, so you're still selling the game instead of building it like you're supposed to? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't even own a marketing degree. You know what I mean?
These guys just seem like shysters who... Now he's getting secondary money. They went to and then you look at their studio, and they got a nice big studio. Why?
Yeah.
You're a small team of people, and you took advantage of all these people, and I guarantee you, I promise you this, John. They're working on probably a mobile game on the side that they're getting microtransactions from, and they're just lining their pockets. opened up a studio using all this money from people who love a property.
Yeah.
You know, love a fictional character, and took that money and are fucking going to the
I just can't wait till they say that there's DLC attached to it. I'm going to burst. Because I know what we've always said in this podcast, DLC is optional. But I would have liked to known if there's going to be DLC so I can purchase it beforehand or fund for that or something. But you know they're going to add on some sort of ridiculous... Mm-hmm. Oh.
But also, like, I have a bone to pick with Resident Evil. I still can't believe that they... Once every 2 weeks, they're releasing the DLC.
DLC, yeah.
That, like,
Capcom!
Granted, doesn't, like, fit in with the main story, but it could have been on the fucking disc.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I've heard about this.
Oh, my God.
I'm glad I traded it when I did. Like, I liked the game. I gave it a 7 out of 10. But I heard, like, and this is Capcom being Capcom, which is funny because, like, I stuck up for them a couple podcasts ago. My brother's like, EA is just as bad as Capcom. And I was just like, a good little troop. Capcom is not that bad.
And Friday the 13th is going to be out in 3 weeks.
I was just like, 2000, like, even though people say 2016 was horrible, I was in a good mood. I was in a really good mood. At Friday the 13th, I just got engaged. Capcom was being friends with me, and then everyone's shitting on my praise, so I'm hoping I'm still getting married, for Christ's sake. Jeez Louise. So, yeah. It's just, I don't know. So that's why I'm saying this is the last time, before you finish your thought, that you're going to hear the words, unless it's like, it coincides with the date. Yeah, Friday the 13th, the game. So this is it. Soak it in, take it.
Because, yeah, any kind of, you know, they say even bad news is...
Publicity, yeah.
Yeah. Any publicity is good publicity. Like, even us shitting on it, like, you're still talking about it. But the thing is, this person saying you don't have a right to bitch, they want to make the game, you know, as good as possible, whatever.
Yeah.
Unlike... Okay, so I pre-ordered Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Okay. I used Amazon Prime, I'll get it the day of and stuff, and it saved me like 27%. Breath of the Wild comes out and it sucks. I don't have any room to bitch that it sucks because I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Okay. The difference with a pre-order and a Kickstarter backer is, like,
because it's an investment, technically.
Yeah, there's no game existing yet. That's like as if as soon as Breath of the Wild got announced, I mailed, you know, $60 to Nintendo or reserved a copy of the game through Nintendo.
Yeah.
Not through GameStop, not through whatever.
Yeah, like, Amazon, Walmart, or all the different places.
In a pre-order, I could pull the money out.
Yeah.
Your money's gone.
It's done.
Okay.
There's no going back.
So I pre-ordered.
And it was more than a regular game.
Yeah.
Just a reminder.
And that's the thing. So I could pre-order. I have Breath of the Wild pre-order right now. I could cancel that pre-order, have my money back.
Yep.
Okay.
At any time, even the day before.
Even the day before, even the day of. Well, Amazon might make that complicated.
Yeah.
But regardless, I could take my money back. You've invested in this game, so if you want to bitch about anything, you have every goddamn right if they're not delivering on what they promised.
Yeah.
And they've promised multiple dates. They basically have shown they're building the game for PC and probably didn't start working on consoles until way later. So you have every right to bitch. Fuck that guy, whoever that guy is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a situation that is new to me, to be honest with you, because I've had it where I've gotten games and I've been disappointed. But like you said, I can either get my money back or like trade it in towards something. Like I probably can still trade it in per se, you know, quote unquote. But I paid more, which I was comfortable with at the time, thinking. So here's the thing. God bless. All right, 2 more minutes of this. When I pre-ordered or when I went to purchase it and back the game, I knew I was paying more than the difference, but I felt like I would get that money back whether it came to communication, the downloads that they're going to send me. Like, I thought the digital downloads, I knew they weren't going to be great. I never had a huge expectation, but I thought it would be real unique. When it turns out I could Google search through images better pictures than they sent me.
Yeah.
Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And which is sad. And so I was like, okay, that sucks. I'm like, well, at least maybe I'll get some communication stuff. And no, it's been outrageous. So Anyways, we're coming up on our hour. Real quick here. So do you have any final thoughts? Working in your brains.
Oh, so I haven't really talked about the Wii U.
Yeah, it's my 1 year anniversary of owning that thing. I didn't know. I forgot to tell you. Yeah. I will say this. Sorry. Good. I always cut off your final thought. It's my 1 year anniversary of owning a Wii U, and it's the expectation of it was just what I thought. Is I would play it as a party thing or something to do with Monica on a board Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, I bought it, like, the game I bought it for, one, I really got in the mood to play a Zelda game for some reason. And this is before I was even looking at Breath of the Wild. I wanted to play a Zelda game, and I wanted to play Mario Kart and a Mario game with my fiance.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like my backup console. It's the console I can use when Grayson's still awake. I can use the tablet controller. Or some nights when I'm going to lay down to go to sleep, I'll play on it in the bed for a little while, tire my eyes before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But every time I turn it on, I realize why this fucking thing failed.
Why is that? Well, beyond the obvious.
Well, it was underpowered. It's not nearly as connected to like the internet and stuff like that as it should be.
Yeah.
And because of those things, and like it came at like midstream, like the PS4 and Xbox One weren't even properly announced yet. Like that thing came out like three
didn't
years
it come
ago?
out first technically?
But it wasn't even like first because they like are in a league of their own.
Yeah.
It's almost like a new PC coming out. It's
But
like,
I'm saying like, I don't know. Technically, the Switch is new. Technically,
yeah. Which, as I told you, the
PS5.
The Switch is just the Wii with like the two sides of the tablet.
It's what the Wii U should have
off.
been, because like when I went to get the Wii U, not this is your final thought, but I thought you could bring it outside. Can't do that with that thing.
With the Wii U?
Yeah, can't do it.
What do you mean?
Like take it more outside. Like let's say you're.
Oh,
going
you
somewhere.
thought you could go somewhere with it. You can do that on Vita with the PS4.
Well, I know that, but.
Which to be fair, when you were going to buy the Wii U, I said, why don't you just get a Vita and you can play PlayStation 4 games like that.
Multiplayer like I needed for like with Monica or something.
That's true.
Yeah. But that's the only reason. I don't know. Anyways, finish your final thought.
Oh, like I'm enjoying the Wii U because I haven't really played on a Nintendo system since 64. And even that I didn't like properly own for a long period of time.
I think you mainly played it with me, didn't you? The 64 maybe? I don't know.
Mostly with my friends.
Oh, okay.
Like Nick Neiman, he had an N64.
Which
and
an
we'd go
interesting
over
name.
there. Nick Neiman?
Nick Neiman. I don't know. That's weird. Keep going.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. It just seems like it goes together too well. Like,
yeah.
I always feel like I have a boring name. Like, this is way off topic, but it's like Jonathan Ray. That's it. There's nothing to it.
Well, I was named after a Lego commercial, so I don't know.
I was named after a guy that murdered his wife.
Who?
So, Jonathan Hart from Heart to Heart, the actor, Robert Wagner.
I thought it was Bruce Willis.
No. There's a TV show called Heart to Heart. It's about a guy and his wife, and they're detectives or whatever. Robert Wagner, I think his name is. He was being accused of tossing his wife off of a cruise ship and killing her.
In real life?
In real life, straight up.
But was it like OJ where like he straight up did it, or it was just like he was? It
was like he straight up did it, just never got caught, or they couldn't prove it. Okay. So technically, he's just like he's fine. But it's like the story, like you look it up, dude. It would blow your mind. Yeah, it's weird.
Because
to think I got named after a TV show character, anyways, is funny to me.
That is weird. I didn't know Dad watched TV.
I'm thinking it was mainly Mom. Because if you see the guy, you'll be like, oh.
Did she tell you that's what you got named after?
Yeah.
What was his name on the show?
Jonathan Hart.
Well, where'd they get Lee?
Huh?
Where'd they get Lee?
Lee who? Oh, Lee. Oh, that's from.
shit.
Well, now everybody in the world knows my middle name. Okay,
I could look up
Lear Gray. Like, her middle name is Lee. So I got it from
her name is Lear Lee Gray?
I think. Somebody's middle name, either our grandma or great-grandma's middle name is Lee, and that's where I got it from. So I have the name of a serial killer, more or less. I have 3 first names.
So do I.
That's true. Yeah, God, that's so weird.
This
is Ryan. So you have a unique name, Zachary.
Zachary?
Zachary.
How's that unique?
I don't know. By the way, it's like, okay, I gotta get to my final thought. We're just like talking bullshit.
Well, I forgot what I was
just gonna say.
Oh, I was gonna tell you should watch the American, because you have to sit through American Horror Story. You should make I almost said Hannah, which is Emily's sister's name, which is weird.
Okay.
You should make Monica sit through American Crime Story. They did the O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I saw that on Netflix.
It'll make you sick to your stomach. Because
wasn't he going to write a book about that anyways?
He did write a book that was called If I Did It.
Here's how.
He named it If I Did It, and then he owed the because he killed 2 people. And I'm saying straight up, he killed these
Allegedly.
people. No, he killed these 2 people. He got off because of race.
The glove.
No, he got off because of race at the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to, hurt any sensitive viewers' ears. He got off because, and there's a person on the show who tells him congratulations, you're the first guy to get out of a crime for being black, instead of the other way around where you got arrested just because you're black. He got off just because he's black. Mm-hmm. And really, if you watch that show and all the evidence, which everybody already knows that he did it. Mm-hmm. Anybody in modern times knows he did it, and now he's.
I think even back then, people kind of knew, but they're kind of curious to where the court case was going to go.
Rodney King and the LA riots had just happened 2 years prior.
Yeah, so everything was fresh.
Yeah, but yeah, you should watch that.
That's awesome.
Neo's awesome.
Neo's awesome. All right, my final thought. I'm not even facing the microphone. Really.
I told you that's comfortable.
It's so there's okay, not would ever get on it technically, but there's a bed in this room. It's a spare bedroom. And I just was putting my feet on it, and it's so comfortable. Anyways, final thoughts. If you have kids, or if you enjoy Batman, go see Lego Batman movie. It's worth it. Here's my 2 gripes about it. The beginning is super fast, which is a lot for cartoons nowadays for kids. But holy shit, I was just what am I looking at? By the time I caught up, I was okay, now the story is going to be evenly paced. Because I remember even watching it at the beginning, and I was thinking to myself, how long is this going to be this fast? Literally, I was just holy shit.
What was it the Everything is Awesome opening to the Lego movie?
It seemed even faster than that. There was just shit coming at you. Which for kids, that's awesome. But me as an older adult, I'm oh God, slow down. You know what I mean? I'm good. And the other gripe is at the beginning, every cartoon like this has a story or not a story, but it's a seventh heaven ending where it has God, what is the word for that? A moral. There's a moral to it or whatever. Well, it gets a little heavy-handed at the end. It's
what do they do with it?
Well, it's multiple ones. It's weird. So for example, it teaches about family and stuff like that or whatever. Okay, that's fine. And then it's but it grinds into it a little bit, and it's just okay, I get it. Yeah, we're supposed to be friends. Everybody's supposed to be friends. Blah blah blah. So that's the only 2 things I didn't like. And that Two-Face wasn't in it enough, but that's just more of a personal preference. But all the voice actors did fairly well. I was surprised.
You know who the Joker is, right?
Yeah, which is weird to me still, but he was fine. He really was fine. He's better than Jared Leto. I'll say that much. Burn, bitch, burn.
I'm pretty sure that's a 30 Seconds to Mars song.
Is it really? Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So how you want to do the ending? You want to do the or you want to do the drums?
Drums, we're not doing the drums.
Not doing the drums?
It's too complicated.
I like the drums. I really do. Alright, so share, subscribe.
No!